And take to the sky. But till that day comes, there ain't nothing can harm you.
Yeah, I think this gentleman here has something he wants to share. Is there anybody? Does anybody mind if my friend here goes up? He's really good.
Is there anybody else?
It's a free for all.
Introduced himself and asked if he could read, and that's the rule here. Anything goes. So here you go. Wonderful.
Thank you. Man, Matt.
Do it up, Matt.
All right. All right. I call this one dilemma, and the word dilemma is, I believe it's ancient Greek, and it means willpower. And it's the first word I say too, so I'll explain that. Dilemma of the snake charmer never would make harm to her, help to sever her from the subconscious abyss, and takes up challenges like a Superman, who when he can drinks the elixir of longevity, holds affinity for divinity, and brought with brevity toasting to the gods, and holding up a brass rod, and with the flaming serpent flashes of lightning shining through the night of the soul. Building the house of Horus with the stone that was Sophia, you will not chisel alone. No worries. There it is. Stable. Stone. With stone, not chisel alone. Set comes the battle with darkness, and hold this to reset to bliss at dawn, with the rise of the sun, with the torch scorch any defect to dust, and in love trust, for the walls of illusion never cease to reflect shadows. So let's grind down to the gallows, through the labyrinth, and grab the bull by its horns and bear the crown of thorns. These are symbolical, so be practical. Now to be a human, aspire to go higher, and don't fail to cherish the grail and holy matrimony. Ephemeral funnel of the female fatale, where zero in comparison, yet a hero will go through the cave to save the eternal lover from a cover of a flash in the garrison. Twins within unite to illuminate the night with luminescent light, chalice held high with a chaste aura and filled with desire until willed to go higher, holding a goblet of fire and walking a line thin as a wire. Where there is a will, there is a wake. Take heart, for the earthquake start comes to clear the sinister minister so casually cruel. Rule with iron fist and build a wall and play hardball. Mechanical receptacle of tyranny, of Moloch. Here to keep you asleep, and as sheep in the dark, spark the soul, and down the rabbit hole, a Baba chakra out of samsara, and a will to go to nirvana, for we wish to not be like Ouroboros, who does never fail to bite its own tail, ones who have done this in a revolution of consciousness, have left a trail of breadcrumbs for others to follow, even if dead. A lot of the times all these problems are just in our head. We're not yet dead, so will to live and give all your heart and all you call upon. Breathe what you believe to relieve dogma, for all you saw relatively was only aspects of the truth. Now sit ipsum to find your proof, because we are now in the dayspring of youth, and times are changing. I have a few I can do, but I don't know what the time thing is here, but I'll do this one for now.
We may never get rid of them.
This one's how I feel. I don't know, I'm gonna go for a while. This one's called 7 Billion Faces, and it's gone through some changes a lot. This is not my most complete version. I mean, it's most completed version, but it's not the one I've performed mostly. So here it is. Well, I will to not spill, but spell the word as it bursts forth in exasperation, for creation sang, Om. Out of the Big Bang, and Higgs boson gone first to atoms rehearsed in consecrated geometry, a form from the storm of chaos, and Malapakriti brings cosmic order. Isis connecting with Osiris, free to see how all this is really meant to be in harmony, some samadhi, nirvana, the illuminated void, until fallen asleep An ego becomes employed to suffering in a matter of existence, spilling out, turned about in chaos, now paradise lost, descending to bending designs, becoming crystalline of the divine. Given breadcrumbs, sums of a formula shared by a will of imagination, E equals MC squared, a sympathetic intellect turned with a process to be learned through a mess of counteractive retrospect. Ebb and flow brings above and below, as angels sing the worlds to formation, for the birth of creation. To start the will here on earth, for the atom noose pulses through the heart with the will of mastery, for architect themes for one to begin living for building. In the now, for aspiration to take away from the animal hold on the soul, taking its toll in a battle of opposites, man versus ape. This shapes the world to now be as but a stage, and we the audience thus become fascinated, locked in its cage, boxed in, misfiring, forgot the words of the sages of old that did bring songs to sing of time when man lived in harmony with what some might call God, which might seem a little odd by today's illusionary standards, harboring dreams and screams and such. I didn't run that one. But fallen suns, failed solar experiments, now what we see represents the moon, with the darkness forever illumined. Laggards wait for chances to inhabit bodies that bring lunar dances to hold those around in trances. This story always told is suited for the suited mold of its age. Have courage, love, for when we come to know what's below is really above, the fear you once had will turn to love. And this we must have to stop degenerating, deteriorating, yet fate is never determined. There is none but what we make for ourselves, so know yourselves. Always hope remains as the rope laced and graced with consciousness, injection of reflection of what we need to see, contemplating how then to be free, a will to power for an hour to take to the Tower of Babel, Masonic chess for a process arranging meaning beneath the surface. In their game like Scrabble, I dabble further out of the frame to reclaim what is naturally ours, for we're stars of divinity for affinity and a trinity. The monad you have, turn it up. Seal the cup for a triad and seal of Solomon, Raziel now swallowing pranid air, so now I can share this with you. In hopes that we can break through time and space for a rhyme of aspiring grace, we're commonplace among 7 billion faces, all in a pursuit of happiness, various life chases, so many races in a wheel. Desire covers what's real. Reasons freeze as the aeolian gusts thrust forth and squeeze warmth from creatures of flesh and bone, and earthly matters of all to take energy alone. This has no bearing, for mementos show the caring through sharing, sacrifice for birth and death. The melancholy mechanics with one track narrow, pick the card tarot, reading destruction for the fulminated tower comes this hour. Sacred once healed, then the blueprint revealed, for construction revealed after death, and a breath with the notes dancing on the bars of the treble clef. Strum your instrument to the sums of Pythagoras sines and cosines and compressed waves traveling between spaces, oscillated and coming in contact with intimate precision on syrup with contact of the hammer on the anvil. Heard the word in spiraling musical patterns translated in neurological connections for reflections of understanding the tones. Remind one of not being alone, sailing past the feel yearning of the hungry ghosts that leave nothing closed. As doors fly open and onward, pursue forward and sail across the storms of Jupiter, seeking the scepter of hermetic unity with the divine contemplations, genies holding each their own level of creation. Each branch of the worlds unfolds supersonic harmonic resonance in the presence of buried treasures on the beaches of your subconscious. All washed up, we're soldiers of a miniature dirt war, torn to opposite poles, cognitive dissonance presenting negligence of cosmic connection, and forever present mere. Clear with the work in the psychological gymnasium of everyday life. Lend your fellow man a hand and spend some time with a friend in a foreign land right outside your front door. Lands you forgot to explore. Now you look to the floor, January to December, raising the temperature and wilting with the weather. Change outside your box all seems strange, so one continues in dreams. In time and space, here for a rhyme of aspiring grace. We're commonplace among 7 billion faces, various life chases, and so many races in a wheel. Desire covers what's real. Should I continue? Woo! I could.
Go for it. I don't hear it. What's
Yeah? No? Okay.
Go for it.
I'll go through another one. Another thing. Positive intentions stemming from wired core desires, fueling fires. What's good has become bad, and bad seems good, so I'm looking to get off the road to hell. Already fell, so not looking to go further down the well. Yet we bite our own tails in a trail of cyclic synchronicity. Economize your prize and reciprocity. Come with the force of Aries and the ferocity of Achilles, with the soul that squeezes as shadows through the trees, depict shapes of apes, primate state inflates the fate of man, evolving from animal nature to nurture for the pure refinement of divine sacrament, an omnipotent elixir. To knock the trickster off its block, those fallacies flock among the same feather and claim the same psychological song sung, at least like-minded and grinded down to beasts, mad trying to rid the pain of being a man. Sunny side gone and died. We tried to hold on, but lost inside, it's too deep, so asleep. The inferno is now where they reside, falling and calling out. So one step forward in a 1,000-mile journey, earning fruit as lessons are learned. Fashion a style of compassion for those still burning to death. Still burning. Death, then a breath for to birth, for aspiration, for the manifestation here on earth, seeking to understand this orphaned race of humans, intellectual animals in cesspool denial, ignorance and drooled upon fooled babble of endless theory and concept, angst for blank states to wish for a tabula rasa, clearing out doubt to release and peace. But pieces of what? Can't see with eyes wide shut, in time and space, with a rhyme of aspiring grace. We're commonplace among 7 billion faces, various chases in a wheel. Desire covers what's real.
Yeah. Go, Matt. Yeah, Matt, good job, man.